So starting a YouTube channel is quite challenging. I know this for a fact. I've opened a few over the past years. Some have gone well, some have gone less well. And to some extent, it can get harder as you age. But at the same time, in other ways, it can get easier. And this is kind of what I wanted to discuss today in this video. Anyway, my name is Adri. I'm a 30-year-old Italian dude living in Italy. As I said, I've owned multiple YouTube channels over the past years, but I now work as an author and video maker for other content creators here in Italy. And over the past years, I think we've gathered quite a bit of experience about what it means and about what it means to create as an adult. So in terms of internet content, and especially on YouTube, I believe that we are at a pivotal change. We are experiencing these days a new kind of content online. Over the past years, we've seen a lot of high production, polished, well-edited sort of content, especially on YouTube, and the barrier was very, very high. But over the past, I would say year, people are looking more and more for simpler, more authentic, sincere kind of content. More similar to what we're doing right now. So someone talking about something they know or an experience they've had, and people on the other end just listening to that person. And especially considering that nowadays most people are walking with an amazing camera in their pockets, I felt it could be useful to share some insight about starting YouTube at this point, at this age. My age, 30, but also for other people watching. You know, when I said earlier that creating as an adult in your 30s or even later can be difficult, it is, because for most people in that age range, they might not be familiar with cameras, with lights, with editing software, with how the internet works. And that can be challenging from a practical point of view. At the same time, I feel as an adult, it's much easier to identify what you like, who you really are, and that all translates into talking on camera in a more sincere way. This is something I really used to struggle at the beginning. I used to think that all of my sentences needed to be perfect, everything needed to be in a certain way. I was very critical. All of these things, you know, they become less important as you age. It's a lot more about doing the work, doing it with integrity, and putting it out there, rather than perfectionism and how you appear. Basically, the more you grow, the more you are, or at least should be, yourself. And the more you can be yourself, the more you can be yourself on camera, the easier it will be to make content. The most important thing is identifying something that you enjoy, that you have some knowledge about, which can be anything. You know, it can be running, parenthood, the cameras, something that you really enjoy. And even if you're not an expert, that you enjoy so much that you would like to become an expert. So that's the first thing. But at the same time, something that can be interesting not only for you, but for an audience. Once you've identified this, I would just pick up my phone and record. Don't buy any gear. You think that more gear will make you more creative. What I found over the years is less is more. And at the beginning, the more you focus on gear, the more you watch tutorials about other gears, the less you do. Your phone is perfectly fine, you know, just recording yourself and talking. And you will take breaks, you will repeat sentences. That's all part of the process. So yeah, well, starting YouTube in your 30s can definitely feel different. And to some extent, I am starting again on YouTube at 30. It's definitely not too late. If anything, you're bringing more life with you, you know, more reasons, more memories, more experiences. This channel is my way of talking about all of this. And if you're trying to figure all of this out as well, hopefully you're in the right place. See you in the next one.